More than 90% of people believe diligence is a virtue. Effort has become deeply ingrained in our education and culture. There's nothing inherently wrong with valuing hard work. But when your grades drop and your teacher attributes it solely to a lack of effort, when the formative years of your values are shaped by the belief that you must study to the brink of exhaustion, when your first instinct after failing to achieve a goal is to blame yourself for not working hard enough, when you finally find peace and relaxation in life only to be met with accusations of laziness, then effort has been distorted. It has become a tool of manipulation, turning us into obedient, submissive individuals who lose our ability to think critically. We begin to deny ourselves, twist our values, and suppress our natural sensitivity, vitality, and creativity. This video will analyze the harmful effects of glorified effort from 3 perspectives: economics, psychology, and personal experience. More importantly, it will offer a revolutionary solution based on your lived experience. So, take a deep breath, let go of your anxiety, and let's begin. The economic law of diminishing returns. The principle of diminishing returns states that when you continuously increase the input of a factor while keeping other conditions unchanged, there comes a point where the added benefit of each additional unit decreases. In simple terms, if you're hungry, the first bun you eat is extremely satisfying, the second is decent, but by the third, you might feel sick. Similarly, if you can write 2 pages in 2 hours, writing for 4 hours might only yield 3 pages. The return on effort decreases. Logically, when output declines, the rational response should be to reassess the method, not to work even. However, in reality, society often promotes the belief that when output drops, the solution is to double down on effort. If more effort only yields diminishing results, that's problematic enough. But beyond numbers and efficiency, we must also consider human nature and psychology. Why effort often backfires. Why do you avoid things you know you should do? Why do so many people stop studying entirely after grueling college entrance exams? Why does forcing yourself to be disciplined often lead to greater indulgence? Because while your brain craves meaning, your body resists painful experiences. It's like bitter medicine. No matter how much you force yourself, you instinctively reject it. On the other hand, if something is enjoyable, you naturally gravitate toward it without needing motivation. Now, connecting this back to the diminishing returns curve, when you constantly push yourself toward a goal, not only does your output decrease, but your experience worsens. You only feel satisfaction for a fleeting moment when you achieve a goal or meet a benchmark. The other 90% of the time, you endure misery. Over time, just thinking about that task triggers a physiological aversion. The long-term cost of this? The more you force yourself, the more you associate that task with suffering. Your body rebels. Procrastination, distractions, and avoidance are all signs of distress. The result? You end up resenting the very thing you once aspired to do. And when you operate from a state of resistance, fear, and reluctance, your productivity and creativity inevitably suffer. You produce less, and the quality of your work deteriorates. Yet, instead of addressing this, people often resort to self-PUA, manipulating themselves with motivational rhetoric, convincing themselves that if they just push a little harder, they'll break through. But in reality, they shift from genuinely engaging in work to merely enduring it. Over time, the cost of effort outweighs its returns. Life satisfaction, productivity, and overall well-being decline, leaving them drained and unfulfilled. A story of true effort. You might argue, this is just motivational talk. People don't naturally love the things they have to do. Once the inspiration fades, they return to their tedious routines. To succeed, you must endure hardship, no pain, no gain. Alright, let me tell you a story. Once, there was a passionate teenager who fell in love with art in his 2nd year of high school. He was utterly consumed by it. He disciplined himself into a machine, waking up at 5 a.m. for workouts to maintain energy, downing coffee like water, sneaking back to the classroom after curfew to practice. He sacrificed weekends and holidays, took meticulous notes, devoured every book and online course on art. His classmates called him crazy. His routine mirrored that of a top student at Tsinghua University. And yet, his final ranking in class was among the worst. Meanwhile, students who barely completed assignments, dozed off in class, gamed after school, and slept in on weekends outperformed him by miles. The following year, he repeated the grade. This time, he wasn't desperate, he wasn't burning himself out. He seemed almost indifferent. He no longer forced himself to grind relentlessly. Instead, he felt at ease. That year, he consistently ranked at the top of his art class. At his best, he placed among the top 10 in the entire province. That student was me. I was baffled. Why did no teacher praise my effort when I was grinding myself to the bone? And why, when I stopped trying so hard, did they suddenly start telling others to learn from my diligence? I realized something fascinating. Those who appear diligent and hardworking often don't perceive themselves as such. They are simply immersed in an enjoyable state. The suffering we see from the outside isn't how they feel on the inside. When we try to imitate their effort by copying their routines and work ethic without understanding their internal state, we're merely mimicking the surface. Like the proverbial tale of Dongshi imitating Shishi's frown, completely missing the essence. The state of effortless flow. Different philosophies have different names for this state. Flow in psychology, ease state in the philosophy of ease, resilience mode in psychological recovery, mind-body integration in holistic well-being. In my own framework, I call it the high spirit state, a state where your mind is at a high level of coherence. When your first instinct after failing to achieve a goal is to blame yourself for not working hard enough. When you finally find peace and relaxation in life only to be met with accusations of laziness, then effort has been distorted. When you are in this state, your best self emerges naturally. You don't need to force effort. Your body instinctively knows how to act. You are open to life, allowing experiences to unfold organically. What may seem like a struggle from an outside perspective feels effortless to you. Looking back, you realize how far you've come, not because you forced yourself, but because you followed your natural rhythm. This state, in ancient Chinese philosophy, is called Wu Wei, effortless action, where work happens naturally without strain. The truly hard-working people, from their perspective, are not exerting effort at all. On the contrary, when your mind is at a low state, you enter a cycle of resistance, struggle, and exhaustion. Every little obstacle irritates you. Life feels like a constant battle. You're not just fighting specific problems, you're resisting everything. Despite seeming productive, your inner world is crumbling. The true solution, inner alignment. Trying to control external circumstances is futile. Short-term fixes only create deeper entanglements. The real solution lies in shifting your internal state. Instead of forcing external effort, focus on maintaining an inner state of flow. When you are in a high-spirited state, effort is unnecessary. Your natural intelligence and instincts will guide you. Life itself will unfold optimally. This video alone can't solve a lifelong dilemma. Its purpose is to expose the flaws in glorifying effort and introduce a healthier mindset and approach. In upcoming videos, I'll explore how to maintain this high-spirit state, diving into life experiences, joy, meaning, and purpose. These ideas will eventually form a complete life philosophy and value system. Your support is my biggest motivation. Stay tuned.